Danger Dolan. From shameless motion control knockoffs to games made by a company called Chintendo, we count 15 of the worst blatant console clones ever to empty a granddad's wallet.
Number 10.
The Game Theory Admiral. What seems to be a Game Boy Advance clone made for people with no money or eyeballs, where you slot bulky cartridges in the top that hangs over the console like a rooftop. You can't play Game Boy Advance games though, you're stuck with the original Nintendo games, but only Japanese ones, since this machine only supports the Famicom. Through the magic of bootleg production, the screen does indeed support color, and even outputs video to your TV, so it feels like you're actually playing a Japanese Nintendo console while you are hunched 2 inches away from the screen, holding a $2 controller that breaks if you apply pressure.
Number 9.
The PX3600, heralded as the official merging of the PS3 and Xbox 360 until you've looked at the box at a distance closer than 300 meters. It's a console that displays a disk drive that can't actually open or exist. You can't play PS3 games, nor Xbox 360, but a series of low-grade pre-installed games with controllers that plug into what seem to be Atari 2600 ports from the 1970s. One controller features vibration, more of a dim, vague, occasional pulse than anything else, and the other controller doesn't vibrate at all, because clearly all the production cost went into manufacturing the disc tray that, of course, they forgot to put in.
Number 8.
The Nintendo Polystation. The Polystation is actually quite a popular knockoff brand, many different iterations of the same thing. Cheap, semi-playable crap designed to trick old people and blind parents. This console doesn't even know what it wants to rip off. It uses the brand and box of the Nintendo 64, the console design of the PS1, Namco games, and a Super Nintendo game cartridge design. Boasting 1 million built-in games, I shit you not, this console comes with a tagline, "It's just not a game anymore," as if they'd taken the opening paragraph from its inevitable copyright infringement notice and used it to promote the actual unit. Also, you might think there's a disc tray at the top of the console, but it's not. That right there is a cartridge slot.
Number 7.
Neo Double Games. Infamously terrible, an aesthetic ripoff of the Nintendo DS with none of the features, but instead you're supposed to physically remove the screen to change each game. The games themselves are the same ones you've played 1,000 times, featuring LCD people, horrible backlighting, and zero fun guaranteed. Not only is the hinge holding the top screen so flimsy that you have to play on a specific angle lest it crush your fingers, but the bottom screen doesn't even function. It's essentially a case to hold your alternative game, one I'm sure you're gonna spend hours and hours watching collect piles of dust.
Number 6.
The Wii Vision, another console attempting to cash in on the Wii's former explosive success. The Wii Vision comes complete with full HD visual output at a whopping 240 by 240 resolution and 64-bit colors. The games you're going to find here will be the original Nintendo ones, since emulating Super Nintendo games clearly requires super advanced experimental alien technology that costs more money to produce than that which exists in the entire world. But prepare yourselves, because though this game comes with restrictive, esophagus-crushing limitations, they do package in wireless controllers all at the low price of $150.
Number 5.
The Chintendo V, like something out of an episode of South Park. But curious, since not only did it rip off the Wii, but the guys at Chintendo actually created their own games for it. Surprising, since most of these consoles opt to just do pure emulation. The components are the cheapest possible quality here, but at least the wireless V controller has motion control and even sound output. Not that it matters when you're playing $2 sprite games rejected from WarioWares. Some aren't that bad, like Bird Night that blends a traditional platformer with balloon fight controls, while others like Fry Egg make you bleed internally.
Number 4.
Super Megason 4, possibly the greatest console ever. Beating out the overhyped PS4 and Xbox One, the Super Megason comes built in with 1 million games and with extra cartridge. You'll find the Super Megason comes in a variety of models, including the original, which looks very similar to a Super Nintendo, except for the minor detail that the cartridge slot is only used for decoration. Games are basic reskins of each other, because playing Tetris number 502 in a slightly different shade of almond is every kid's dream.
Number 3.
iDong, a knockoff of Microsoft's Kinect that actually doesn't do too bad of a job. It doesn't use your body as a controller though, it uses sensors, reflector pads and IR lights to identify the accompanying controller. In that respect, it's more like a Wii, but you can also hook the iDong into your PC or set-top box, whereupon it's fully functional. The only thing holding the console back, apart from its shameless hardware piracy, is the name, because when Christmas comes around, what kid asks his parent for an iDong?
Number 2.
The Mega Drive Extreme. Well, you have to hand it to these guys. They tell you exactly what kind of games to expect on the console you're buying, except the extreme part must be referring to the way it rips off the design of both Xbox and PlayStation. Like the title implies, you can only play Mega Drive / Sega Genesis games here, but the controller, which is a PlayStation design, comes with 6 buttons splurged all higgledy-piggledy all over the tiny surface area. On rare occasions, you might find this console with a light gun, but be prepared for the same dodgy quality found in the console itself.
Number 1.
The Mini Polystation 3. Just when you thought the Polystation couldn't get any better, we find this gem perfectly emulating the graphical fidelity of the PS3 console. The screen folds out from the disc port and you're given a tiny controller that literally fits inside your hand, with the 2 analog sticks replaced with the start and B button. This is a considerable step up from the Mini Polystation 2, which did not have a screen that features backlighting. Truly a technological breakthrough there. This overwhelming package of fun requires 3 AA batteries though, so you might need to start saving up your pennies. That is it for this countdown. Have a good one!